So it appears that Tesla and Elon Musk are still on the path to bankruptcy. That's the subject of today's video, and these are the headlines. Tesla board proposes Musk pay package worth as much as $1 trillion over a decade. And when I first saw this, okay, nothing surprises me anymore, but I mean, is anyone worth $1 trillion? And I mentioned this in the prior video, this headline, and I got to go through this full story with you because it's absolutely insane, hilarious. But honestly, this signals a couple things. So one is Tesla's desperate, right? They need to make headlines and say, oh, wow, let's just pay our CEO like all the money in the whole world that we can possibly scrounge up. And this also proves that Tesla is basically a stock pumping company. And essentially Elon is it's a scam. It's all a scam. No one's worth $1 trillion. I hate to break it to you. And you're talking about a company that's got declining sales. Their CEO, right, Elon Musk, is an addict. He manages, well, the manage right word, but his name is with multiple companies. Many of his execs are leaving him, and they're like, Elon, let's do this $1 trillion deal. Let's make some headlines and get everyone on board. And it's like, if you're a shareholder in this thing, do you want to pay Elon the addict $1 trillion? So we got to read through what's going on here. All right, Tesla's board is asking investors to approve a new pay package for Chief Executive Elon Musk that could deliver to him as much as $1 trillion in stock over the next decade. And if you understand how they structure their money, effectively, he won't take a pay, but he'll get, stock options, this kind of stuff. And then he can borrow money based on that and then not pay taxes. That's how this game is played, right? You live off lines of credit and loans and such. The proposal deal would allow Musk, already the richest, wealthiest person, to receive installments, of shares if Tesla hits a series of market capitalization and business milestones, according to securities filing published Friday. I did get the email, so I did see they were doing something, but I had to go over the jobs report first before looking at this craziness. $1 trillion. The maximum payout would give him an additional 12% stake in Tesla. Okay, because he actually threatened to leave before if he didn't have enough ownership. If the company reaches a market value of $8.5 trillion, nearly 8 times its current valuation. Okay. At that level, the proposed award would be valued at slightly more than $1 trillion. So it's not just $1 trillion, but more than $1 trillion. I mean, but who's counting at that point? Or about the same as the company's entire current market capitalization. Okay, they're not referring to today. So the funniest crap is when I saw this, the first thing I told the AG, my wife, I'm just like, $1 trillion is like crazy money. Like, honestly, guys, $1 billion is crazy money. Seriously. For most people, are just like, hey, it wouldn't be great to be a millionaire, right? Which is pretty good money. When you get to billion range, honestly, no one really needs all that money. And then $1 trillion, and it's just like, I guess it's so much, it's incomprehensible. As a regular person, like you can't even really spend all that in your lifetime, basically. Well, I mean, I guess you could get creative. You start buying companies and governments and such, I suppose. Tesla's board said the unprecedented pay package is intended to keep Musk focused on the electric car maker, right? Because he's all over the map, etc. And he gets stuck in his K-holes and such. Tesla brand and its sales have taken a hit, absolutely, from Musk's political activities and now frayed alliance with President Trump. And Trump just had a White House dinner with all the top tech CEOs, and Musk wasn't there, which is actually kind of a big blow to Musk because they were talking about data centers and AIs and stuff like that. And like, why is it Musk there? So $1 trillion. I can't get over that still. It's just so funny. Okay. This spring, Tesla board members reached out to the executive search firms to work on a formal process for finding Tesla's next CEO. I did hear that. But sometimes these kind of rumors, you're not sure, because some of the board could be on board with hiring a new CEO. And then they actually talked about before they would demo Elon to be like a different role. Like they put him at, your chief product or chief marketing. Just go pump the stock, essentially, is what it is. But yeah, I did hear about this. So work on a formal process of finding Tesla's next CEO, and some pressed longtime leader to spend more time with the company. Sure, of course, that makes sense. Tesla chair Robin Denholm, so she's totally corrupt, and she's been selling stock, and Musk brother's been selling stock. Most of the board is connected to Elon. a prior judge said that, there's too many of the boards in Elon's pocket, and it's not fair to shareholders. I mean, no one deserves $1 trillion, but this is why this thing is a clown show. You never know what, I mean, in this bubble market, and Trump is, president, maybe they can get some sort of sweetheart deal, and maybe we'll figure out a way to funnel more tax dollars to Musk or something. You never know. Let's see what I got here. Tesla chair Robin Denholm later said the board had confidence in Musk, really, okay, and its growth plan, and Musk stepped aside from his White House advisor role in May. Quote, retaining and incentivizing Elon is fundamental to Tesla. Yeah, okay. Becoming the most valuable company in history. The package was, quote, designed to align extraordinary long-term shareholder value with incentives that will drive peak performance from our visionary leader. Okay. The proposal would lift Musk's stake in the electric vehicle maker to as much as 29%. Wow. So I think he's like around 10% ownership now or something in that realm. Because before he was saying, well, actually before he just wanted to get more, more stock ownership so that he could control the company and get it more to AI and robots, or redirect the money around to his other companies. It's all a scam. But 29%, that's interesting that it would go up to that if all targets are met. Okay. According to the filing, it would also boost his voting power. Okay. Musk has previously said he wanted roughly 25% control, voting control, that is, of Tesla to keep his focus on the company. Like he was starting to leave, actually. And if you don't know, I gotta make this clear, Elon Musk did not found Tesla. I want to make that clear. He joined late. He eventually sued to get his name as being, quote, co-founder. I think there might be 4 or 5 people that are listed as that, but he's not the original person. He's not the first person. That's a good way to state it. Tesla shares went up about 4% Friday afternoon trading. Of course, it's all a grift, and you'll have the Tesla stock promoters are probably excited that they're all, I guess, all your money's going to Elon. 20 million Teslas. Okay, what is this? In addition to market cap milestones, so they want you to effectively pump up the value of the company by pumping up the stock, and then you can get paid more, I guess. In addition to market cap milestones, payouts would depend on Tesla hitting any of a dozen business and financial targets, though not in any particular order. These include delivering 20 million Tesla vehicles or 1 million non-vehicle robots over the next decade. So that would be, I guess, a million. Let's see. Yeah. So like 100,000 robots a year then, if you're saying 1 million non-vehicle robots. So probably the human ones is what they're referring to. But theoretically, he could put out dog robots, or he could scam the system and saying, hey, look, I did a bunch of, flying drones, and I just copied someone else's design. So that's kind of interesting because it says or 20 million Teslas or 1 million non-vehicle robots. Tesla has sold about 8 million vehicles, including 1.8 million in 2024. Okay. Other product goals include putting 1 million robotaxis into service. Good luck with that. And reaching a 3-month average of 10 million subscribers for Tesla's full self-driving service. So this is something that a lot of car companies, well, I'll say a lot, we'll just say some car companies are doing, to where they want you to subscribe to their service. So if you'll get your car, and if you want to unlock software features, you got to pay them, $20 a month or whatever. Some crazy stuff has been like your car has installed already, say heated seats, cooling seats, or whatever, like there are features on your car, or, parking assist or whatever. And then it'll be already on the car, and you'll get like a 30-day trial when you first get the car, and then after that it locks up and you got to pay extra. Me personally, when I buy a car, I want to buy my car, and it's my car. I don't want to have to pay a subscription for my car. But that's kind of the model they're going, and it's like that with software as well. Right? You guys know this software as a service. So Tesla, they always try to sell themselves as being a tech company. I always tell you it's just a stock pumping company. It is a bigger scam than Enron, or you could say equal scam, or right about there, however you want to rate it. But it's insane. A single robotaxi could count as a delivered vehicle and a full self-driving subscription. Oh, okay. So essentially what they're doing is they're dividing it in different ways of like how you could rate this thing. And then they're saying that robotaxi itself would meet multiple categories. Musk can receive other tranches of stock based on reaching adjusted profit thresholds ranging from 50 billion to 400 billion. Okay. The measure reflects earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, and amortization, so EBITDA here, and excludes the effects of asset impairments, stock-based pay, and gains and losses on digital assets such as cryptocurrency. It's a way to, like, allow him to pump the numbers. Depends how you count this stuff, right? Tesla's reported 16.6 billion in EBITDA for 2024. Okay. To illustrate the scale of the market cap targets, the company described each as a multiple of another company's current market valuation. The first was described as 36 times General Motors, while others are described as double Apple or Nvidia. So they're making the case, if you can, pump up the stock to be, worth more than, I guess, double of Apple or Nvidia, then you get your trillion. The cost of the company for the new equity award is about 88 billion under accounting rules. Tesla said, though a final figure will be determined with shareholder approval. That figure also goes into what Tesla reports to shareholders as Musk 2025 pay in next year's definitive proxy statement. Now, one thing they got in trouble before was whether or not they informed shareholders, or whether or not the board, was also had the shareholders' interest at heart, right? Did they do their fiduciary duty? Are they too much in the pocket of Elon, or are they just trying to enrich themselves with no regard to shareholders? And remember, this is a publicly traded company, so all this stuff is public. I mean, this also shows this, like, massive corruption on Wall Street or anything like that. If anyone still thinks this is a good idea, I mean, no one's worth this stuff. And then, they're putting in place of, like, hey, basically pump up the stock and you get more money, but it's a scam. Together with more than 20 billion for an interim equity award announced in August, Tesla could report around 114 billion in total 2025 pay for Musk, okay? Said the court. That would be far and away the highest pay package on record. Musk's 2018 pay deal with accounting value at 2.3 billion would then become the second largest. So he's got the 1 and 2. Number 3 would be a longtime Blackstone CEO, Steven Schwarzman, at 1.4 billion in 2008. So they're talking giving him 114 billion in 2025. And they're saying that's, like, really high compared to 2.3. Am I reading this correctly? It's kind of crazy, isn't it? And then, like, another big one would be back in 2008, someone got 1.4. I mean, it's just ludicrous numbers here. And people aren't buying Teslas anymore. That's why it's all a scam. The filing also includes a shareholder proposal for Tesla to invest in Musk's artificial intelligence startup, XAI. Interesting. So this is also another way for Musk to funnel off company from Tesla and throw it into his other stuff. I mean, if you're in this Tesla thing, you need to know about this stuff because you're getting scammed. This is a popular retail stock, right? You pump it out to idiots. That's effectively. Musk has repeatedly mobilized his business empire to boost XAI, and they're all bleeding cash too. With SpaceX agreeing in July to invest $2 billion in it. So Musk is using SpaceX money to pump up his XAI thing, and I think they're losing $1 billion a month. I heard 13 billion a year that XAI is losing. It's quite a big cash burn because it takes a lot to build out your infrastructure for this stuff, and then you yet to prove that you're ever be profitable, and that's a lot of these AI companies. Tesla's board didn't offer a recommendation on how investors should vote. Okay. Actually, that's gonna be pretty curious. And I already know that the Tesla stock promoters will say, oh, you have to vote yes, we have to pay him $1 trillion, I'm sure. Musk floated the idea in July, writing on his social media platform, if it was up to me, Tesla would have invested in XAI long ago, meaning that, hey, I want to get out of the car business, just get out, quit talking about it, because I already know it's a loser, and jump into something else. In recent years, some Tesla investors started to question the CEO's commitment to the company. Of course you should. As Musk dedicated more of his time and energy to political causes. And I think Musk was saying he wanted to do like a political party or something. I think that fell through a lot of, and then also remember he promised to pay, wasn't it people, there was like some sort of stupid $1 million lottery thing, but that all ended up being a scam. I think he got sued over that one also. In 2022, he completed a $44 billion takeover of Twitter. Musk, a self-described, quote, free speech abolitionist, or actually absolutionist, how you should say it, spent an increasing amount of time posting on the platform. Yeah, he just posted nonstop stuff up there. Musk later cozied up to Trump, donating vast sums of to his election campaign, and eventually acting as a close White House advisor, but actually soured. Despite Musk's evangelism about the promise of Tesla's growth, the business has been in a funk, right, this year amid falling vehicle sales. Tesla's profit dropped 71% in the first quarter and 16% in the second. I know they're getting crushed in in Europe that those numbers just came out. It was only Norway that had a positive number, but Norway has like more incentives than other countries. So for buying those kind of vehicles here in Korea, it's actually kind of same. Electric vehicle incentives are still around, and there's more than just Tesla though here. We have Kia, Hyundai, BYD has also entered the market. They're picking up steam. I mean, Tesla's got a real uphill battle. That's why they have to come with this, like, again, these splashy headlines. It's funny. Shareholders are due to vote on the proposals on November 6th. Okay, so got a couple months for the Tesla stock promoters to try to convince people to vote for it. I'm curious how this vote's going to go. The new package requires approval by majority of shares voted, including those held by Musk and his brother Kimball Musk, also a Tesla director. Some prior pay votes at Tesla excluded their shares. Okay. So they're maybe structuring the vote so then Elon and Kimball can get more say, I guess. Musk's new pay proposal is complex as the company achieves each market capitalization. A 12th of the underlying 424 million shares would be earned if Tesla also meets new adjusted profit or operating targets. These earned shares, however, would only vest or become fully Musk property at two key moments, roughly in the spring of 2032 and the fall of 2035. That's a long time from now. I think, my opinion, I think Tesla may be gone by then. Although theoretically, if they get rid of Musk, they might still be able to save it, because it does have brand name recognition. I'd say that, but the brand is tightly connected to Musk. And I'm just telling you guys, there are other brands out there. Car market is really, really tough. I don't see them moving ahead of other companies in the robots. If you guys follow this stuff, Boston Dynamics. That's actually I think Hyundai owns that now. But I would say Boston Dynamics is really up there. And there's a bunch of Chinese makers like Unitree, and there's some others that are making stuff. And then ultimately, this boils down to cost. And Tesla got in late in the game and the robot stuff, and then their costs are going to be much higher than others. There's just no way. Moreover, Musk is required to hold shares for at least 5 years. Okay, so you can't dump them right away from the time they are earned, even if they are already vested. Typically, recipients may sell shares once they vest. Okay, but he can still take loans off said things. The proxy notes that Musk would receive voting rights to the shares awarded under the new pay package once the market cap and other targets are achieved, potentially before they are vested and he gains full ownership of them. All right, so this is all about voting for him, control the company. So then he can, well, the other thing you could do is you get the voting shares and then just start figuring out ways to funnel money to his other ventures, right? So it's not just the pay package, it's also control and being able to funnel money to wherever he wants, I'm sure. Until then, the shares will be voted proportionally to those other shareholders, okay? In some circumstances, Musk could earn some tranches of shares without meeting product goals, right? See, I told you guys. In the event of the natural disaster, war, pandemic, or new laws or government actions that restrict the design, performance, sales, or marketing of product. An unusual provision, unusual one. Oh, what's this? Okay. An unusual provision in the award could essentially wipe out the value of the shares he has. Oh, why is this? Earned if Tesla's share price falls far enough by the time the shares vest to 334 for shares earned before 2030, or the share price in 2033 for earned subsequently. Okay. So I guess theoretically, if you stop pumping the stock, you lose everything, I suppose, or not everything, but you'll lose. The scale of Musk's compensation at Tesla has been a point of contention. His 2018 pay deal was struck down by a Delaware judge who said the process was deeply flawed and criticized the company's board for lack of transparency. And it's funny because I think Tesla moved their incorporation to Texas to get more favorable laws for corporations. And, if you want to cheat your workers, like what Elon Musk likes to do, these kind of things, you can do that more easily in Texas. That's what Texas, you go to Texas for that kind of stuff. Tesla's director said that then record stock option deal, which amounted to more than 55 billion. It's the old one. So now we're going from 55 billion to a trillion. Was necessary to keep Musk focused on the car maker amid slump in sales and increased competition from overseas. He has run the company without a pay package since then. And last month, the Tesla board approved an interim stock award for Musk, intendedly valued at 23.7 billion. So they halved it. So I guess it's like the interim one, and that's why they're voting on this new thing. Separately, Tesla is asking investors to approve another 208 million shares earmarked for Musk, or $73 billion at recent prices. The company said he would only receive the shares from the pool to replace any he might lost as a result of litigation over the 2018 pay. Yeah, it's so corrupt. So I want to hear what you guys think about this. This is the $1 trillion pay package for Musk. And I'm actually really quite curious of the vote. So that's November 6th, and we'll keep tabs on this. Do appreciate your time, everyone, and I'll catch you on the next video.